Welcome to Spotlight on Lakewood. I'm Mayor Adam Paul, and today we're going to talk about a really cool exchange program that we have in the city of Lakewood through our Lakewood Sister Cities program. I'm joined by four very special guests from Green Mountain High School. Alex, Jake, Kira, and Rose. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Kira, we're going to start with you. Please tell us about this unique program.
Lakewood Sister Cities is we team up or join with the Southern Shire, which is in Australia, and Lakewood and their sister cities, and it's basically a student exchange program, which is also educational. And the Australians first come over and they spend 6 months in America, and then after the following 6 months, the Americans go over and spend the next 6 months in Australia.
Very cool. So who are our Australians here?
Me.
All right, Jake and Rose. And for our viewers, tell us, why are you doing this? Rose, let's start with you.
Well, Jake and I, both our sisters, did the exchange, so we already knew about it before coming, and they had a really good time, and we did it because we get to come to school in America, and we get to come to Colorado, which is completely opposite to where we live in Sydney, where it's mountains here, whereas in Sydney it's like beaches, things like that. So just overall, like the experience just to live with a family for 6 months in a different country and experience school and everything like that.
It's great. Kira, how about you? What do you? Why are you doing this?
I'm doing this because my mom did an exchange program, and so I always thought it'd be cool, like to kind of leave your family for 6 months, and then that sounded bad. To like just experience like different part of this world.
Yeah, Jake.
I think the main thing is just like getting to live over here for like 6 months, and not very many people can say that they did that at such a young age.
Sure, nice opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Alex.
Well, for me, probably like getting to experience a whole new culture almost, because Australians do they do a few things so different from Americans. And well, Kira actually was the first one to tell me about it, and ever since that, it just sounded so interesting to me and such a great opportunity. And it just I've heard so many great things about this exchange and just all of that.
Yeah, what a great opportunity. I'm excited for all of you. So Jake and Rose, you've been in the United States for how long?
About 4 months.
Yeah. So Jake, let's start with you. What are you enjoying so far?
The food.
The food.
The food is
What's your favorite food that you've discovered while here?
Chipotle or chicken
Yeah.
nuggets?
There we go. I like it.
Yeah.
Rose?
Probably the school, just how different it is from back in Australia. So yeah, that's probably my favourite thing.
So how is it different?
Well, in Australia, we have to wear uniforms firstly, so that's different. And then a lot of the sport is connected to the school here, whereas in Australia, it's much more like through clubs and things like that. And then how the school comes together for like football games and things like that, whereas in Australia it's like you go for the 6-hour school day and then you're like done, and that's pretty much it, whereas here it's much more like involved throughout, like in the night and on the weekends and things like that. So I like that like environment kind of idea.
Sure. So have you been able to play in any snow yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Is that new for you, Jake?
No, I've been to snow before, but
Okay.
it's still cool seeing it like at like your own house. So like, yeah.
Yeah. And how about the people here? Are the people nice? Rose? Pretty easy to get
The
along
people
with?
are really nice, and as soon as like we went to school, well, they already like knew of me and Jake because we had summer holidays for a while, so like just seeing us on like the girls' Snapchats and things like that, so they had an idea of who we were. But then when we were there, they were heaps like welcoming, and they'd always come up to us. So
that's cool.
that was good, because then I was so nervous that it was good when people come up to you, because then if you always have to make like the move, it's just like nerve-wracking.
Well, that's great. It's nice to know that people in Lakewood are welcoming.
Yeah.
So here's the next question. We'll start with you, Jake. What don't you like, or what do you miss?
The beach. I miss the beach so
Yeah.
much.
So the mountains haven't been a replacement for you?
I mean, they have in a way, but just like growing up around the beach, like going there every week is just like growing up.
Yeah,
So
much different.
yeah.
How about you, Rose?
Probably the public transport, because in Sydney we're much more independent because we can just walk to the train station or get on a bus and go anywhere, whereas like here it's much more reliant on like friends and family to get you places, which like is sometimes hard because then you lose a bit of like independence, but it's no biggie.
Yeah,
so
no, certainly.
It's all good.
It's actually interesting you say that, because I think a lot of people in Lakewood would talk about mobility as one of the things that we certainly want to do better in our community and make it easier to get around and more accessible. Yeah. So Alex and Kara, you have not made the journey down under yet. It sounds like you're leaving in January.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, what are you most excited for?
Ooh, I've heard so many great things, so it's really hard to choose, but probably the beaches, because Rose has told me a lot about a lot of the popular beaches, and they just seem so exciting, and like I really want to learn how to surf. So
Nice. Kara?
Mine's probably the same. Like I really want to like learn how to surf, and I've been to the beaches before, but we have mountains and our water's lakes, so.
So will you be there for 6 months?
Yeah.
All right. And you leave in January, and you'll be living with Rose, Alex? Yeah. And Jake and Kara, you guys will be teamed up? All right. So you'll get to see the other side, how the other side lives.
yeah.
All right. So for our Australian friends, what's been the most exciting thing that you've done while you've been over in the United States?
I would actually, you wouldn't think it, but I would say going to school,
Okay.
because it's just so different to back home.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So-
great. Yeah, and Green Mountain is a great atmosphere. Miss Owens does a great job, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose?
Well, with the exchange, we get to go on a lot of trips, which are heaps of fun. So we've been to Vegas, but then in Colorado,
Okay.
like we went to Glenwood Springs, and with the family, I went to like Beaver Creek, and I've seen around Breckenridge and things like that. So just like going places where it's like completely opposite, because that's when like you like realize like you're in Colorado, because it's just so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with what you've learned so far, either hosting or being hosted, what stands out? Any lessons or anything that is different than you thought of before? Alex?
I guess just like learning to live with another person, because like I mean it's been great having you, but like there's just I don't know, more to like keep track of, because sometimes I feel like it's my responsibility to like I don't know, make sure she's having a good time and is comfortable and things like that, and just like working around that.
Yeah.
I
Jake?
think you just become more independent, even though you do have what you can say a family here. Like you're away from your like immediate family, so like you tend to kind of like try and figure out things on your own. So yeah.
Kara, you got another brother, right?
Yeah. I think it's different because like going to school with my brother, it was always like I never saw him, and now like I see Jake quite a bit, and so I thought that like I just didn't think of that. And like when I found out I was gonna have him, I was like, oh, like we won't do anything together because he's a dude, but like that's totally different.
Nice. So you guys have had heaps of fun, as Rose would say. Rose?
You learn how to live with a different family, going by their rules and what they expect, which is different because growing up with my family for so long, then coming to a different family, you just have to like learn things and how they operate and things like that. And especially because in Australia I have two older sisters, but here I have a younger brother and a younger sister, so that's different as well. So just like living with younger people, like just overall like the Brady house is like really different from mine to do with the family. So, but it's been really good. So yeah.
What a wonderful opportunity. I had a chance to come to your picnic earlier in the year, And it's always fun to hear from everybody involved. And I remember, Jake, you said one of the odd things about Americans is we have drive-up ATMs.
Yes.
And Chick-fil-A is always a wonderful choice for people coming to America.
Yeah.
Who's been to Casa Bonita, Lakewood's very finest and best Mexican restaurant? Anybody?
I haven't.
All right.
I live
Well,
here
I'm going to have to, as the mayor, say that our host families must take you to Casa Bonita before you go.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and you guys can experience it in all of its grandeur. So if you had the opportunity to try to talk somebody into this, or one reason or one sentence why they should take advantage and join this program, what would you say? What would that be?
I would probably say to do it to get out of your comfort zone, because even just like staying in America is like within your comfort zone, and a lot of people just go by like the same daily routines and stuff. But in Australia, it forces you to do something new and like experience new things and meet more people. And so like just do something else for a change, I guess.
Great.
It's probably the best experience you'll ever have. That's all I can
That's
really
it,
say.
yeah, well said. Kira?
I would tell them to just go for it. Like, you're not gonna have an opportunity at this time in your life again. And I think it's just an overall like life-changing experience. And you may not notice it now, but later in life you could be like, oh, me doing that affected the rest of my life.
Yeah. Rose?
I'd probably say that you'll meet people that like you'll stay friends with for a long time. So just our group alone have become really good friends that I feel like it will stay in contact even when the Americans leave Australia, which is really good because then you'll also be able to come back and visit and like see everyone. So it's not just for the 6 months that you're in the other country, it's like much longer than that.
Yeah. Well, I admire all of you for what you're doing. I think you're absolutely right. You're putting yourselves outside of your comfort zone, and you have an opportunity that a lot of young adults don't have. So take full advantage of it and enjoy it. And special thanks to your host families and your parents for helping to make this happen. And I think I said this at the banquet, but because of this opportunity, it means that you have to really work and go out and make this world a better place. So now you're all deputized again to make sure that you go and do great things. So thank you for being a part of this and coming and joining us today and sharing a little bit with the Lakewood community about the Sister Cities program.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So speaking of the banquet, it looks like there might be a keepsake from there, huh?
Yeah, so here's just a picture of all of us at the banquet. It's got like the Americans and the Australians and all of us together.
That's fantastic. So that is the whole group, and it looks like the Australians are wearing blue, and Jake, you're looking nice, and all of our Americans are in bow ties and in black. So that's really cool. Thank you for this.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, best of luck to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this segment of Spotlight on Lakewood. This is a great program, and if you have any interest, please reach out. We'll try to connect you with the right people so that your children can enjoy a great experience. Until next time, remember, together we'll do great things.